Hello, in this video I'm going to solve the problems from quiz number 2. The first question, consider the following limits. Limit L1 is defined to be like this and limit L2 is defined to be like that. We're supposed to find L1 plus L2. So this is a very simple task to do. We calculate L1. L1 is not one of those limits that makes problems for us, so we replace x with 5 simply, so it becomes square root of 2 times 5 plus 6, and then it becomes square root of 2 times 5 is 10 plus 6 is the square root of 16, and the square root of 16 is just simply 4. And L2 is one of those limits again, because if I replace x with 0, nothing strange happens, so this becomes 2 to the power of 0 plus 2, but any number to power 0 is 1, so 1 plus 2, and the answer to this limit is 3. And what is demanded is L1 plus L2, so this becomes 4 plus 3, and the answer becomes 7. So 7 is the number that I have to type here. Okay, the second question. Consider the following equation. If x1, x2, x3, and x4 are solutions to this equation that satisfy these conditions, x1 is less than x2, less than x3, less than x4, then what is 4 times x2 plus x4? Okay, so this condition is important. It doesn't mean the first root is this one equal to 0 and the second root is this one equal to 0. You need to arrange them in the order of which one is bigger or which one is smaller. So here we say that, okay, the product of a bunch of numbers is equal to 0. So by the zero product rule, either the first one is 0 or the second one or the third one or the fourth one. So this means that this implies that either the first one is 0 or the second one is 0. Yes, so which implies that x is equal to 3, so there is or between them, and or the other one 2x plus 1 is equal to 0, so this gives me x is equal to minus 1/2, and then or x plus 7 is equal to 0, and this means that x is equal to minus 7. Now if I ask you what is x1, x1 is the smallest of these four numbers, and x4 is the highest one. So if I want to arrange them, x1 is the smallest one, but the smallest number in this list is minus 7, so x1 is minus 7, and x4 is the largest one. The largest number in this list, as you see, is 3, so x2 is the second smallest one, which in this case is minus 1/2, and finally x number 3 is simply 0. And now the question mark is 4 times x squared, x sub 2 plus x sub 4. So this becomes 4 times x2 is minus 1/2 and x4 is 3. So it becomes 4 times minus 1/2 plus 3. But 4 times minus 1/2 is minus 2 plus 3, so the answer is simply 1. And this is the number that I have to type here. Okay, this problem is also very simple. We are supposed to expand and simplify the expression that you see here to see which one is the correct answer. So it's very simple. To expand, I have to multiply this x in, and to expand this, I take this one, for example, multiplied by these two numbers and by these two expressions, and then I take this one, multiply it here and there, and then finally take this one, multiply it here and there. And then I will find the similar terms and simplify them. So let us just do it very quickly because it's extremely simple. So the first one, if I multiply x in, it becomes x squared minus x. The second one, I take x squared from the left pair of brackets and multiply it into all the terms on the right pair of brackets, okay? So it becomes x cubed plus x squared. I am finished now, so I switch to minus 2x and do the same thing, so it becomes minus 2x squared minus 2x. I am done now, so I switch to minus 4 and do the same thing, so it becomes minus 4x minus 4. Extremely simple. So what are the similar terms? So this one and that one are similar. These two are also, these three of course are also similar. Okay, so what is left for me? x3 is alone, so let me write it first, x cubed, and then as you see here, minus 2x, and this is minus sorry, let me calculate x squared first. So here I have x squared plus x squared is 2x squared, but minus 2x squared are totally simplified, and I have minus 2x here, and then I have another minus x here, so it becomes minus 3x. It becomes minus 3x. Oh, sorry, and there is also minus 4x, so it becomes minus 7x. I forgot to also consider this one. So we have three terms, minus x, minus 2x, minus 4x is minus 7x. And then finally I have minus 4, which is alone. So this becomes minus 4. And then if you see which answer is correct, is in this case that I have it here, is the last option. Okay? Okay, here the goal is to simplify this expression. So you see that we have a fraction line here. So this means that whatever this is supposed to be divided by that expression. So if you don't mind, let me write it using the normal division symbol here. So the first thing that I will do, I will rewrite the expression x minus y over x plus 2y. And then I use this division symbol. Then I will have x squared minus xy divided by x squared minus 4y squared. And then you know that if you want to divide two rational expressions, you need to write the first one the same, change this to multiplication, and swap these two. Yes, so I will do the same thing. So this becomes x minus y, so it becomes equal to x minus y over x plus 2y multiplied by x squared minus 4y goes to the numerator. The 1 in the numerator, x squared minus xy, goes to the denominator. The next step is to factorize everything as much as we can. X minus 1 is not factorizable. The same is true for x plus 2y multiplied. But the numerator is a very famous pattern. That's a conjugate pattern. So it becomes x minus 2y and x plus 2y. For the one in the denominator, I have only a factor of x in common, so I pull it out, so it becomes x minus y. Then I ask myself, is it possible to simplify vertically? The answer is no. Is it possible to simplify vertically? The answer in this case is yes. I can, the answer is again no. So, is it possible to simplify this cross-manner way? Yes. So x minus y and x minus y are cancelled, so one is left here, one is left there. And then is it possible to simplify in this cross-manner way? The answer is again yes. X plus 2 y and this are simplified, so one is left here and one is left there. So if I want to write this, it becomes 1 over 1 multiplied by the numerator is x minus 2y left, and the denominator is just simply x. But you know that 1 over 1 is just simply 1, and when 1 is multiplied by every number, it becomes the same number itself. So the answer is completely correct. But you see that this answer is not in the option, so be careful. This is not exactly what you see here. Here the coefficient of x is 2, here the coefficient of y is 2. Okay, but you know that you can write it like this. So for example, if I ask you to write a over b plus c over b, what do? You write b and then you add a plus c. The same is true for subtraction. But now look, because this is equality sign, it doesn't matter. This expression is equal to this expression. Sometimes, most of the time, this is given, you are supposed to find that one. But sometimes, if this is needed, you should be able to go back again. Okay, so I will do the same thing here. So instead of writing x minus 2y over x, because I don't find it in my options, I write it x over x minus 2y over x. Why is that? Because if I give you this and I ask you to combine them, you will exactly write this expression for me. But now x over x can be written simply as 1, and then I have minus 2y over x, which cannot be simplified anymore. But then you see that this answer is no, it's not that one. The answer is here, 1 minus 2y over x. So this is the answer that you have to provide for this problem. Okay, now the next question. Consider this equation. So if you remember in the quiz, I learned that I forgot to put this minus sign. We fixed it during the quiz. So the correct version of the question is with a minus sign here. X to the fourth minus 13x squared minus is equal to minus 36 has 4 roots, calling them x sub 1 up to x sub 4. We want to know what is the value of this one. So We have solved these type of questions during the lesson. So here you can introduce a new variable. So I would say that let x to the power of 2 be equal to, let me call it t. Then x to the 4 becomes t squared. So this equation, I can write it in terms of t rather than x. So it becomes t squared minus 13t is equal to minus 36. I move minus 36 to the left hand side, it becomes positive 36 equals to 0. I can use ABC formula to solve that one, but guessing the numbers are easier because this makes it easier to simplify the problem. I need two integers whose sum is minus 13 and the product is positive 36. So one of the numbers is minus 4 and the other number is minus 9. So I can factorize it as t minus 4 times t minus 9 equals to 0. And then by the zero product rule, I get two answers for t. One of them is 4, the other one is 9. But I am looking for x. So x squared is equal to 4 if t is 4, or x squared is equal to 9 if t is 9. So from here I get two answers, x is plus or minus 2, and from here I get two answers, which is plus or minus 3. It doesn't matter in which order you call them, because here I want to find the sum, and the sum doesn't matter in which order I name them. The sum is not sensitive to the order of the summands. The same is true for the product. The product is not sensitive to the order in which we multiply the numbers. So the problem is that I want to add them. So the question mark becomes the first one plus the second one plus the third one plus the fourth one. So let us call 2 the first one. Let us call minus 2 the second one. Let us call 3 the third one, and let us call minus 3 the last one. And I will keep the same order for the product. So it becomes 2 times minus 2 times 3 times minus 3. But then this one is easy because these and 2 are cancelled. These two are also cancelled, so that becomes 0. And then if I multiply these four numbers, it becomes minus 4. And this becomes minus 9. And when I multiply them, it becomes 36. And 36 is the number that I have to provide here. Okay, let us go to the next question. In this question, we are supposed to find this limit. Okay? And call it L, then multiply it by 2 plus 3 and write the answer here. Okay, so when I put 4 here, then I will immediately see that I face a problem, because if I put 4 here, 4 times 4 is 16. 4 to power 2 is also 16. When I subtract them, it becomes 0, and the denominator vanishing makes problems for me. So I have to simplify this before doing this replacement of 4. And then this is a very simple thing. We have already done that in the lesson a lot. So what I do, I factorize the numerator. So I write a 1x here and x there. I ask myself, I need two numbers. The sum is minus 2 and the product is minus 8. What are those numbers? One of them is minus 4. The other one is positive 2. Yes. And then in the denominator, I have 4x minus x squared. So I can factor x out. Then I will have 4 minus x. And then x goes to 4. But be careful here. You are not allowed to simplify this with that, because in the numerator you have x minus 4 and the denominator you have 4 minus x. We'll learn this during the lesson. Whenever you face this scenario, you need to remind yourself of pull a minus sign also out. Okay? So what I do, I will write the numerator as it is. But then I pull a minus sign out from here, so I write it as x minus 4, but the price that I have to pay is to put an extra minus sign here. This is the minus sign that I'm talking about. And then x goes to 4. And then what happens, this minus 1 and that one are simplified, so be careful, you have to write the limit sign. So the limit x plus 2 is left in the numerator and minus x is left in the denominator, and x goes to 4. Now, do I have any problems again? No, because when I replace x with 4, nothing strange happens. So now I have to remove the limit sign and replace x with 4. So either you calculate it in your head or you write it once more and then it becomes 6 over minus 4, which is minus 3 over 2. So L is just simply minus 3 over 2. But the question mark is 2 times L plus 3, so I will multiply 2 times minus 3 over 2 and then plus 3. So the answer becomes what? This 2 and that 2 are cancelled, so I am left with minus 3 and then plus 3, so the answer is 0. So that number is the number that you have to put here. Okay, finally the last question. The following figure portrays a part of the graph of the function. As you see, I want to know what is the sum of these 4 coefficients. Okay, because this graph is the graph of a third degree polynomial, you know that this function should be of this form: a constant k, which we don't know yet, but multiplied by x minus x1, x minus x2, and x minus x3. If I ask you what are x1, x2, and x3, these are the zeros of this polynomial, and you see exactly you have 3 zeros. So if I go from left to right, the leftmost 0 is minus 2, the middle one is 0, and the right one is 4. The right one is 3. So minus 2, 0, and 3. So f of x becomes equal to k, x minus minus 2, which becomes plus 2, and then x minus x2, which is x minus 0, simply x, and finally I have x minus what? 3. Yeah, so that is this one. But of course the problem is that I still don't know what k is. I have to fix it. So I need to look for some other piece of information provided here in the problem, and I immediately realized this is my point. Why? Because this is a grid point. So you can, of course, in principle you can use any other point, but the problem is that you cannot read the coordinates of any other point from the information given on the figure. So you have to look for some place that you can see exact grid points there. So this is the exact grid point, and the x coordinate is 1 and the y coordinate is 1, 2, 3. So this is 1 and 3. So I see that 1 and 3 lies on the graph. So what does it mean? It means that the coordinates of this should satisfy the function. So instead of f of x, I can write y, and I replace y with 3. And then it becomes k, which is missing yet. And then x is 1 plus 2 multiplied by x is 1 multiplied by x is 1 minus 3. And then the left hand side is 3. And if I ask you what that number is, this is 3, this is 1, this is minus 2. If you multiply them, it becomes minus 6. So it becomes minus 6k. And then what happens for k? K is minus 3 over 6, or is equal to minus a half. So finally, f of x is determined completely. Instead of k, I put minus a half, so it becomes minus a half. And if you don't mind, let me write x first. And then I can write x plus 2 and x minus 3. And then what I do, I simplify and expand that, because I have the expanded version of f of x. This is the factorized version. So what I do, I write minus a half x, I keep it, and then I multiply x by x, it becomes x squared. And then I multiply x by minus 3, it becomes minus 3x. Then I multiply 2 by x, it becomes plus 2x. In total, I will have minus x. And then finally, minus 2 times minus 3 is minus 6. And then what I do, I multiply minus a half x inside. So it becomes minus a half x cubed. Yes. And then plus 1/2 x squared. And then plus 3x. And now if you compare this one with this one, you see that a is minus a half, b is a half, c is 3, and d is actually 0. So then it means that a plus b plus c plus d is equal to minus a half, plus a half, plus 3, and plus 0. So the answer becomes simply 3. And this is the number that you have to put here in this box. Okay, I hope that this video was useful for you. Until the next video, be safe and goodbye. Thank you.